Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode here on the EchoSith channel, where we're going to create animations, illustrations, photo manipulations, all kinds of fun artistic things that we're going to kind of dive in and try to tear apart, and hopefully we'll all learn something. Today we're actually going to sit down and we're going to figure out how to create this illustration that just came into my mind. It's really about like mind control. So we're going to dive right in. We're going to separate all these different photos. We're going to try to see if we can composite something. And basically, I'm thinking of calling it All Is Lost. Let's go. Alright, so I just went through and I got a whole bunch of different pictures, and I just went through and I was just trying to find a bunch of things that would be kind of cool to put together. Basically, we're going to go through and we're going to mask out some of the areas. We're going to take the two photos and kind of composite them together. Just kind of blend them together just to kind of get them to work as one piece. Basically, you want to cut out all the pieces that you don't want, right? I mean, that's easy. Just use your wand or your lasso tool, and then you're just going to go through and do all that. Here, I'm just trying to color correct the ground so it gets a little closer to the image that we used in the foreground. Again, it helps with layering things up. It's very simple to really work on kind of getting that color variation that kind of happens in the scene. A lot of the times it's not just a simple just one color kind of layover with hue and saturation. Sometimes you kind of have to play with it and kind of see where things are going. Again, here I'm just messing with a lot of colors. I'm just trying to get a feel for what this scene might be, because I have no clue what I'm creating yet. It hasn't really come to my mind exactly what I want to create. Right here, I'm just trying to add some more of the orange kind of grass along the rocks to kind of match along with what's going on down below on the ground, to kind of mix the two together so it kind of seems like the scenes are as one. Even though later on in the illustration, you're not going to see a lot of this, but it's just the small details that kind of help. Again, it's really easy just to kind of go through here and just work on your coloring and just kind of get a sense of what you want. Color theory is kind of helpful with some of these things as you're going through and creating any kind of illustration. Again, I'm just going through and kind of cleaning up some of the scenes and adding things in and out. I don't ever really completely cut anything out. I just use the mask. So if you go ahead and use the mask tool and just put it right over, I'll just create like a folder or a layer, and then inside of that group I will make a mask, and then that way I can kind of control without completely being destructive on the layers. Right here we're just adding small details. This is like garbage and grass and things like that we're adding. And of course right here we're flying through. I sped it up a lot just so that you'd have to see like every little minute little detail that's going in, but this is just creating all of the green glow inside of the two canyons. Here we're just adding all the shadows to all the garbage on the ground. Now we're just trying to get a sense of what the scene might look like. Here we're just going to go through and we're going to cut out all the people and then kind of get the lighting. There was a really cool kind of trick, or I wouldn't say it was a trick. It's a really cool kind of thing that you can do if you get the hue and saturation layer and you just create a whole new hue and saturation layer, and then you just basically clip it to the layer below. So if you just mouse over right between the two layers, it has the little icon of the arrow. If you click that and then invert the selection, which is Command I or Control I, and you can switch the selection. And then what you can do is just go in and then mask, you're basically masking on where you want that green to show up, or whatever color you're going to use. That's basically what I did here. Was I just created a really bright, very bright green, kind of like what we use for all of our logo and stuff like that. And then you just kind of erase it away, and that's what you kind of see me do every once in a while. I know a lot of people do this kind of technique. I wouldn't say trick. I think technique is a better wording for that. Again, being that I like to do illustrations a lot, I felt like I needed to do more drawing. So like the girl that I just did a second ago, I redrew her hair completely, ripped up her clothes. Here I'm completely redrawing this guy's arm to have his jacket ripped up, just to do a little bit more illustrative work rather than just completely using photos. Even though it is a photo, I'm just painting over it. I feel like if I add more illustration to it, then I feel better about it. Again, here we're just continuing to work on just ripping up the pants. And then I was like, hey, why not we just rip up his shoe, make his hair messy, right? We can rip up his jacket, add some here, and then we just cut and make the seams like where you can see the stitching. Rip up the bottom of the pants, rip up the bottom of the jacket, and right there you just use the clone tool, and you can just clone, kind of the pants down below. There's his toes. Again, it's the small details that kind of, make things believable. It just kind of shows that you put the time and effort into something when you add just a little bit more detail than, that's necessary. Sometimes, I won't go as far as this on some things like the stitching, but, I didn't know at this point in time where exactly, he would be or out of focus he would be. There was later on, whenever we get to the point of the final illustration, a lot of this, how he looks and what he's wearing completely changes. Right there is where we did the hue and saturation and made a real big green, shape, basically inverted the mask selection and then just erased it. On the shadow, it's really easy. Just make a selection of the object that you want to use, and then just click and then hold the option and just click and drag it down, and then you can just basically create yourself a shadow, and then you just blur it out and bam, done. Here, so I was gonna put a big satellite on the top of this, and I spent all this time masking it out, getting it all cut out, making it clean and doing all that kind of stuff, and I never ended up using it. I just thought it was a big distraction. I thought it was really taking away from the illustration, but at least you get to see me cut it out. You never know, maybe we'll use it for something else. So right there, I'm just going back through and erasing out the white spots that I couldn't get with the magic wand tool. Here I just basically took a vest off of the guy and then just used it as a backpack, and then erased some of the things away that you'd be able to tell that it was a front piece, a back piece. And then as I was sitting here, I was like, what if we did canisters? That would be so cool. And then like inside the canister with like green bubbles or something, and maybe they're drawn to this like green glow, and this green glow is like what's controlling them. I really thought that, the things you think of as you're starting to draw, it's crazy. But it's fun. It was fun. So here I just added the bubbles. I have a lot of brushes that kind of help with things, save time. This was a really fun project. So I'm just going to continue, you know, just creating this canister. I'm just coloring it, doing all the lighting. And then as I was doing it, I was like, you know, it doesn't need to look new, it needs to look old. So I went through and just got some like old rusted pictures, used the blend if. So if you double click on the layer, you'll get the all the different little assets and things that you can do, like strokes and drop shadows and all the things like that, the effects. There's a little magic little area right there where you can slide back and forth the gray area, or you can change it to a color. But if you do the blend if, it kind of helps blend in some of the area down, when, you know, like with the image that's down below. It's a really cool effect. You should really try it. We might go back and do a tutorial on it just so we can kind of show how that works. But it's a really fun little project to do. Because once you figure it out, you'll use it for everything. Here we just put the logo, and then I was like, you know what? We need to have a hose connecting to the back of this and jamming into the side of his head, right? And then of course you got to make it glow, right? And then right there, that's where we do the hue and saturation. And I was like, you know what? We put backpacks on them. They all need hoses too. So then we put hoses on all of them. And then I decided, you know what? We're going to work on this truck. So then I just started working on the side of this brown wood door that I decided to put on this, I have no clue what it is, a Mel truck or something. Again, I got all of these images from Adobe Stock, so they have a really cool selection there that you can get from. So I took the canisters that I created, put them on the side of the truck. I had some rust pieces, basically went through, did a lot of overlays, erased and masked, and, you know, did all that kind of stuff, so that way we could really have a cool rusted look, right? And then I got another rust, and you can kind of see on that one door right there, I did the blend if, and it really gives it kind of a broken up kind of area where, you know, paint wouldn't be completely gone. You went through and just again masked off and cleaned up and added and did some overlay, put our wood door back on, and put some rust flipping down, put it in the wheels. You know, here what we're going to do is we're just going through and dirtying things up, adding some more rust. Right? You got to sell it. You got to sell it. You got to get all those details in there. Here's where we added some dirt and grime to the tires. You can see we have the satellite on the top of the truck. I had it on there for a little while. Here we're just adding some more dirtiness. And then I had to draw the bracket that's holding these canisters on, which was pretty cool. Like it's not too hard once you kind of know like what you need to do. You know, just a bunch of colors and blending, and you know, just having an understanding of just where the lighting and stuff is in the scene. And right there, that's where I was messing with the hue and saturation. So right now I'm just doing a mask where I'm just erasing away and showing and like revealing the green in the scene. And then I did it another time, right? And then we just make it where it's just freaking glowing, just we just bring it out, right? And then we added a layer of, I think we did a layer of black over the top of it. Or we might have just done a hue and saturation from black down. It's going so fast, I can't remember. We're adding more lights. These are overlays. We're going to do a Gaussian blur. So we let like the headlights on the front of the truck. Add some more fog and smoke and kind of darken it up, right? We kind of have to make it mysterious and, you know, kind of get that gloomy, weird look. And then if you flatten it all together, and then what I did was I added some depth of fill to it. Here what I'm doing is I'm working on the hose. So I decided, you know what, I'll make my own pattern. This will be easier. I'll just make my own pattern, draw it along here, and then it will create kind of my my tubing very simply. And that's it. And that'll do it Thank you again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was pretty quick. I hope you learned something out of it while you were watching. There will be more videos coming in the future, so please make sure to subscribe, ring that bell, and like it, because you never know, there might be more tutorials. Who knows? It's gonna be exciting. Anyways, make sure you also head over to my Instagram page, EchoSithKK. All my artwork and anything like that gets posted there. So again, guys, you have an awesome time, and we'll see you in the next one.